Hey, good day, YouTube. It's Sean back here with you. I'm going to make a video today on a 2008, I believe. It is a town and country, Chrysler Town and Country. I'm going to walk over here and confirm that. Yeah, it is a Chrysler. Dodge Caravan, you know, whatever. Same sort of deal. So what I'm doing here is a water pump, spitting coolant all over the place, making a huge mess. It was actually so I work for a fleet company, and the driver didn't complain about a coolant mess. They complained about squeaking and some noise under the hood. Didn't sound quite right. I actually think their description was a cricket. So what I want to show you is the water pump, its location, and just give you a little bit of info. Maybe you want to try to do it yourself if it's your own personal rig or you're just curious. So here we go. This is, don't mind these nuts and bolts right here. This don't go with it. So this is the old water pump. Bam. So this I cannot turn. It's gotten so bad to the point where it seized right up, and it was leaking coolant from underneath there. And as you can see, there is 5 bolts that hold this baby in with a gasket. And this pump here is the new one, and you can see, I'll show you here how easily this spins. Da, 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 da. Boy, this is not easy one-handed, but I'll hold it on my big gut. There, that baby spins nice and free. And this one here, so yeah, it's hard to turn. I'm actually able to turn it, but it's very hard. Made it a little bit hard to get the bolts off of us. So you pull the bolts off for the pulley. Let me show you that too, just in case you're curious. So you have to take your serpentine belt off. First, you should loosen up these bolts first. Holy shit, that pulley's no good now. Just kidding. It's alright. Be alright. Be alright. So that baby sits just like that up in the motor. Serpentine belt rides about there. And a good thing to do is loosen these 3 bolts before you take your belt off. It helps hold it. Still not going to hold it because those are pretty tight. You can use a pry bar or you know, more suitable holding device. There are items out there that are designed to hold this pulley. I don't have that here at this part-time job, but I do have one. You pull those off, and that's what you see up inside the motor. I'll show you its location in a minute. And that's pretty much that bad boy. And the new gasket is right here. It's a little wrinkled from the packaging, but so I'll show you up here. And its location is, ta-da! So I've cleaned that up pretty good. I might try to clean it up a little bit more. I'm going to put some red RTV on it anyways when I put it back together. Some of that metal's a little bit pitted. It's aluminum, a little bit pitted, so I'm just going to put a little skim coat on it to help it seal on both sides, probably, of the gasket. Now, one thing I'll say is if you're going to do it yourself, I ran into on this one, this guy right here, this bolt broke, and the stud's, you know, stuck in there, so the head of the bolt broke off. And you have to extract that, which I did do with a welder. Let me see if I can find it where I put it. Right here. Nope, it's not hot. So that little stud is all that was sticking out of there. And what I have learned to do, especially doing the exhaust manifolds, is weld the nut on But what I've learned most recent, and I never even dawned on me to do, is weld a washer on first to really get a good bite, and then weld the nut on. I did that, and it actually came out pretty easy after that. I worked a little bit back and forth, and lo and behold, she came out. I think, yeah, here's that of that bad boy right there. So that's what snapped clean off. And luckily, we have a nice Fastenal nut and bolt collection. So I have a 6mm by 1.0 thread pitch that I'm going to stick in there. And we have the right size. So I'm not sure what size that may be. Maybe that'd be helpful for somebody that's going to snap one. I mean, no, you don't want to snap one. Oh, I used right here. Let me read that bad boy. It's a 25mm 6 by 1.0. I put 2 washers on it because I compared the depth to one of the old bolts that came out, and I don't want to go in too far into the timing cover. So I'm using 2 washers. I think one would be just fine, but I'm going to use 2 just to be sure. I can go down the next size bolt, but I don't want to. I want to be able to grab all the threads I can in that timing cover when I tighten it up. So again, if you're going to do it yourself, it's doable. I've got the luxury of a lift. But laying on the ground, I didn't even take the tire off. The tire is still mounted on the car. Of course, it's in the air. The drain plug for the radiator is, you drain the coolant down, is right there. Be careful with that. It's very flimsy. So you basically twist that, lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. Twist it and coolant drains out. And then if you have a cool little pan, you catch it. Hopefully you're not letting it rip on your front lawn because it kills the grass. And bad for the environment. So here you go. That's it. I believe this has a 3.8 liter motor. I think the 3.3 and 3.8 are pretty freaking similar in design. So I'm pretty sure this is a 3.3. No, this is a 3.8. I'm pretty sure. But anyways, you get the idea. There it is. I'll update it in my description anyways. I'll actually lower it down and look at it. Yeah, I know some other stuff's pretty rusty under here, but she's an old girl. All right, thanks everybody.